Hello and welcome to part 1 of the silver level on primary school computing. What we're going to be doing in this one is we're going to be adding some speech to what we already know. Now I've just started a blank one, so I'd like you to do the same. Start with a blank project in Scratch. What we're going to be doing is first we're going to just be making our sprite walk. Now we're going to make him walk a little bit slower than we already have been doing. So what we need to do is go into Control when the green flag is clicked. Now you should already be quite familiar with this. This will probably become a lot more familiar once you've done this a few times. We need the repeat one from that one, and we need the go to one in that one. We want them to start about here, so this may change as we come to it. -192 minus 66. So 192 minus 66. Got repeat there, repeat 10. Now we want him to move 10 steps. Looks, we want next costume. Now for this one we're going to add in one more. Now we've already done this, and that's quite simple. We're going to be going into Control and we're going to go and wait. Now if we wait 1 second, it's going to be going very... So what we need to do is we need to slow him down. He's going way too quickly for this. As you can see, that's possibly a little bit too slow. So what we're going to do is we're just going to change this. See if we change it to 1.3. He's got quite a good walking speed there. So that could be enough. If you want him to go a little bit quicker, you can do 0.2. So he's got a little bit more of a steady walk. Or again 0.1 if you want him to be a bit more brisk. There we go. I'm going to go with 0.3. Feel free to do the same if you'd like. So there we go. Once he stops, this is when I want him to speak. So we need to go into Looks up here. And we're going to say hello for 2 seconds. Now that one's already in there for you. I'm just going to move this a little bit along. And he just says hello for 2 seconds and then it goes away. I'm going to put in another one. My name is, we're going to call him Meow, because he's a cat. And it's Meow. And we'll add in another one. I hope you are enjoying playing with Scratch. And what we want him to do after he's said something, we want him to run off the other end of the screen. So what we're going to say is, I'd better dash big day. So after he said that, we're going to run. Now, rather than, you could just do this again if you'd like, or, oh, I've connected them again. I'm going to do it, just duplicate it. But we need to take out the weight, because the weight's what makes them slow down. So we'll just run this, see how it goes. See how he doesn't go all the way to the end. So he only repeat that 10. So we're going to change that to 30 in the hopes that he'll move along. And what else I'm going to do is on the I hope you're enjoying playing with Scratch, and we're just going to put that for 3 seconds just so it gives everybody enough time to read. So when you're doing speech, just bear this in mind, especially when you're working with children. Sometimes they may not be able to read what's on the screen fast enough, especially with the younger ones. So add in another point something of a second if you don't want it a full second longer, or do them all for about 3 or 4 seconds, just so it gives them enough time to read, especially if you're doing a story with them. If you want to make a story with Scratch, then you're going to want to make sure that the speech is on long enough for the children to read. So yeah, that just gives it a little bit more time to read. So he's to the end now. But it's looking a little bit boring, so I think we'll change the stage up. So we've already done this before, adding in a background. Now with this one I've decided that I want to do an outdoors one, and I wanted to add a school. So here's my school. I'm just going to delete background one and have my school. So for the script for the school, because I'm going to be adding in another background after this. So what we want is, first we want when the green flag is clicked. Looks, we want to switch to the school first, because we're switching backwards and forwards between different ones. Say if you were doing this with a big story and you wanted loads of different backgrounds, loads of different things happening, it's like an adventure. You're going to want to, when you start with the, when you click the green flag, you don't want it to stay on the background you've already got and just switch to the next one, because it may change what you're saying. So say I'm going to school, and your sprite says I'm going to school, and you've got it outside somewhere, and then once he comes to the next one it's changed and he's at a beach and he says, oh, I'm just here on time at school, then it doesn't make sense. So if you want to, when your green flag is clicked, switch to the background and then choose which background you want. Sorry. After that, you want to have it on for as much as you want. After this one I'm going to change, and when you watch the next video when we're going to be adding in another sprite, that's where they're going to be talking. So I'm going to be importing this brick wall one. So in my script I'm going to need to put a wait and then looks and switch to brick walls already being chosen, but if it hasn't, look at that. But as you can see, it's not going to work, because I want that background switched after my little sprite has got to the side. So I need to put a wait on for a bit longer, and I'm going to put it on for 16 seconds. That gives me enough time to get from the school and get the sprite across to the other side of the stage before it switches over. So again, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you've timed it right. Just play around with it a little bit. As you can see, that's probably a little bit too long. So if I change that to 15 seconds, or even if I change it to 14.5 seconds, that might be a little bit better. So just watch it over again. Just keep playing around with it until you're happy with how it looks. So even again, I could change that to just have it at 14 seconds. So if I have that as 14 seconds, what I want to do is, I've got my sprite here, but he's just going to be stuck there. So if I bring in another character, my little sprite's going to be stuck there. So we're going to look at a new one. So if you go into looks and you go into show and hide down here. Now I want to put hide at the end so that when he gets to here, he's just going to disappear. But if you watch, once I do this again, once hide has been activated, you've got to put a show in, because if you played it again, a sprite is still going to be hidden. And I shall show you this. So he's hidden there. I think I'm going to have to put that stage back to 14.5 because it disappeared a little bit too quickly. So if I play that again, you can see that the sprite is moving, but you can't see him, and you can't even see his speech now. So what you need to do you can just bring this down. If you click on the go to and then drag it down, it means it's not all coming apart. We're going to put show here. So if you click the green flag again, there we go, we've got him back. Then you can see his little bit of speech. And then he's going to run. See, I keep changing it. Still doesn't work. Obviously, again, it's just playing around with it for a bit, just making sure that it's right and what you want it to look like. Until you're happy with it. I still think it's gonna put it at 14.2. That'll do. Again, if you wanna play around with this for a little bit, I mean, you can change the stage up, change the backgrounds up. You could put in different ones. You could be at a different setting. For this one, this is what I'm gonna do, and this is gonna be my little story. If you check in with the next video when we're going to be adding in another sprite, and I hope you've enjoyed this one, and I shall see you in the next video. Bye bye.